Are you ready?
Caldor, I got some news, man. I heard someone just tweeted at me, man. I heard Crossfire's been removed from the map pool. So that means I can talk about how bad it is now without, like, doing it in a snide way. Or saying, like, well, you know, it's just really hard for Cross right now. Or, I don't know, it's kind of tough for Zerg in this situation. It's gone. It's gone. I'm like, G-O-N-E? That spell's gone.
You are really cheery about it. Look at you.
I mean, it could just be, if it's incorrect information, I blame the person who gave me the information. I trust people who tweet at me. I trust those people. Actually, usually I don't trust them, but in this case, I was just so happy to hear the news.
That would be something that I would abuse in the future. But before we talk about Crossfire, we talk about Entomb Valley. We have a Zerg versus Zerg coming up, and here we go, Lenok against Monster. Our first mirror match of the day. This is the fourth game in the team match between MVP and FXOpen. At the top right of Entomb Valley, we have, in the red color,
MVP Monster!
He just defeated Choya on Metropolis. Quite a nice game. He played really, really well. His opponent, though, is none other than the Lenoctopus.
FXO Lino!
I love seeing that nickname get out there, man. He is the Lenoctopus.
Yeah, he is. He's just such a cheery guy, and this is going to be a great match. This is going to be a great ZVZ. Entomb Valley, and
let's talk a bit about Entomb Valley. Now, it's a ZVZ, so it doesn't mean that much, but now that the map has been chosen, it can no longer be chosen by a Protoss to beat a Zerg player, for example.
Yeah.
If they wanted to use Genius to take out Lenok after this, if Monster fails, they can't use Entomb Valley against him, so a strategic choice I really feel by FXOpen to use Entomb Valley. They've already used one of their Protosses, they've got Oz left, of course.
It's not only about the players, it's also about the map stats. A valid point, Wolf, so exactly, he's choosing Entomb Valley. And for ZVZ, it actually doesn't make all that much of a difference which map you pick. Of course, there are a couple of maps where banelings are really, really strong. But in this case, there are a lot of maps where you can just say, okay, for a mirror matchup, I'm just going to choose this map, because then I will also eliminate it from the map pool, and I will make sure that none of my teammates can get sniped later on.
Yeah, it's a good map for Protoss, and already we've seen Tyr and Choya fall to Protosses from FXOpen, so it's a good choice to get this map out of the pool, out of the way, because even though MVP doesn't have a lot of good Protoss players, they don't have like a solid lineup for that, they do have Genius, who is the only Protoss in the round of 4 right now. So a smart choice by FXOpen, just a little strategic thing to consider.
We have the scouting for both players. It's already been successful. The overlords were sent into the correct direction, and therefore they know exactly about the early expansion, hatch first, and now we have the 2 spawning pools. And Wolf is grinning like crazy, and I don't know why. What did I say?
I'm just thinking happy thoughts, Caldor. I'm just a happy person.
Okay, I apparently missed something.
No, man, you're good. 2 queens on the way, Zergling speed, very early.
I don't trust you anymore. I look to my right and suddenly there you are, grinning like, I don't know, like you just got a huge bag of candy.
I didn't get a huge bag of candy, man. That didn't happen.
Okay,
I was right here, man. You saw I didn't get any candy. I'm a happy guy. Now, I would note that Monster got his gas a little bit earlier than Lenok, so that's why his Zergling speed is a little bit ahead. It's only slightly ahead, but in this matchup, that slight lead in Zergling speed can mean everything, depending on what Zergling counts the players have.
Now we have the Baneling Nest for Lenok, and MVP Monster with the first Spine Crawler, so Lenok is going to try to be a little bit more aggressive. Builds the Baneling Nest a bit earlier, but Monster is chooses to fight fire with fire.
Yeah, both players, you know, when your opponent goes for hatch first, you basically have to make the Baneling Nest. Even if you also went hatch first, that extra production granted there, the Zerglings can just take over. If you're not prepared for that, it's always good to have a Baneling or 2 handy defensively. You can put a pressure on with them, and it looks like Lenok has planned to do that. Like you insisted since he got the earlier Baneling Nest, he does have 10 Zerglings on the way, and that's actually gone up to 26. 26 Zerglings, so he wants to end this game pretty soon, I think.
You can try to get the Roach Warren, especially on maps where you only have a single ramp. It's easy to block the ramp with the 2 queens or like 3 roaches, but you will have this timing where the banelings are really effective and you need to pull drones from your expansion. So going for the baneling nest is not the worst choice that MVP Monster could have made there. And here come all the Zerglings already for Lenok. We have 34 harvesters to 24. A lot of drones for Monster. Maybe he overdroned a little bit.
You know, the thing is, he actually knows where the Overlord of Monster is, and he showed all the Zerglings. So Monster actually... Oh, wow, that was close. Monster actually, before he should have seen this, he already had banelings morphing, and he's going to be pretty prepared to defend this, even as a second spinal away. 1 baneling hits 2. That's never an ideal situation.
Trading 1 baneling for 2 Zerglings, definitely a trade you can make.
Yeah, that one makes sense. There are so many banelings out right now, Kaldor, for Lenok. 9 in total, 1 more morphing here.
He is behind in Harvesters. He's trying to drone up right now, and he's getting slowly but steadily ahead in Harvesters. What about the Zerglings? A nice hit with the baneling. Very well done.
Looks
Small
like
run by attempt now by...
He's got 3 Banes here. Ready to go.
Oh, he needs to be very careful. He needs to back up with his drones. Losing 1 of them. Yeah, that's not enough. Very well. Lenok dodged that quite well and forces his opponent now to get the Roach run. There are a couple of lings in the main base of Lenok though. Not too many drones have died. Only 3 have been taken out by Monster. And this puts Monster on 37 to 36.
Yeah, Lenok actually made so many banelings, he even sent them home, which I'm kind of surprised by. There was no real reason for him to send them home. It looks like he wants to wait, use them later, perhaps. His Roach Warren is very far behind. In fact, he's going to get a lair, which is very clearly for a Spire here. He's already gone 4 gases.
We have Monster with 2 Spine Crawlers already, and the Queens as well. I think that Lenok just felt that with the Banelings he couldn't do enough damage, but he will lose an Overlord now.
Oh, 1 baneling almost hit like 6, so that was a close call. One thing to note is, at this position where the Roach Warren is as quick as it is for Monster, and at these positions by rush distance, going for the Spire tech is actually really risky by Lenok. I'm not sure if it's going to pay off. That was a waste of banelings. I said earlier maybe you should have used them, but that was not what I meant.
You can't attack into Roaches and to Spine Crawlers as well. That just does not work out.
He should have
and
realized...
look how many Spine Crawlers he's not just getting.
Imagine if he had the banelings with those. Imagine how hard it would be to break that.
He wants to go for the Spire attack, as you mentioned, so he needs to get a lot of Spine Crawlers. That's exactly what he does. The Queen about to take down one of the Overlords. We have 81 supply for Monster, 60 for Lenok. Lenok is saving up a lot of gas now. The Spire is being built, and I don't think that Monster is going to attack into the Spine Crawlers. That would just be suiciding.
Good read by Lenok to make the spines before even really scouting a very large Roach count. I thought he might actually die to Roaches, but it looks like he's going to be fine. It looks like also Monster wants to attack from the side here, but even so, Lenok can reposition the spines. He's got so many, it won't take much for him to reposition the spines. They're going to be attacking at a better concave than the Roaches who have to funnel through the rocks.
Monster's now getting a lot of Roaches while he's expanding, and he does not really prepare for the Spire attack of his opponent.
Yeah.
So we have 53 Harvesters for Lenok, which is quite a lot, only 45 for Monster. And the Spire is already more than halfway done, so I feel like either Keen has to attack, Monster has to attack right now, trying to do some damage with all the Roaches that he has, or prepare for the air units that Lenok will definitely
build. He doesn't
build.
even have any spores up, as far as I can tell, Kaldor. It's like he knows what's going on, he just hasn't made the spores. He can make them as his opponent's Spire finishes, but...
Infestation Pit, Hydralisk, then something.
Yeah, he has no lair. So he's got the Evo Chamber, he's had it for a while, his +1 is about to finish for that. He's going to help his Queens out against the Mutas slightly, but he really needs to get spores.
And there's the
huge Roach attack.
And at the same time, we already have 6 Mutalisks been building. He still has a bit of gas left. There are a lot of Banelings. I don't think that he can break this.
I don't think so either. He's going to have +1 for his Banelings and his Zerglings. He's got so many spines. He's got 9 Spine Crawlers here with the Mutas as well to defend Kaldor. I think Lenok is going to crush this attack and win the game, but those are a lot of Banelings.
Indeed they are, but here are the Mutalisks taking down a few of them. All the Spine Crawlers
all the Banes at the back.
Woo! And all the Banelings for Lenok are just going in for the kill, taking down so many Roaches. The rest of them obliterated by the Spine Crawlers.
Lenok destroys the attack. Destroys the attack.
He kills everything. He is able to take down the whole force of his opponent. and Lenok is just standing there like, that's it.
GG. I mean, basically, we're at a GG situation. I cannot believe the attack was executed in that way with the Banelings at the back where the Mutas could target them down, the Spines could target them down if you wanted to.
And Lenok sends out a drone immediately. He knows fully well that now he has the map control. Even if he's not able to take Monster down because he has too many anti-air units, he will still be able to take a third base. He might even just take a fourth. He is in a beautiful position.
Absolutely. He's going to control the game from here. These Queens are not going to last very long. The Zerglings do retreat due to the Baneling there, but he's going to catch a Queen at the side. That means no Queen to help to defend this base. Should target down the Spore with his Zerglings. There he goes.
Yeah, killing the Spore Crawler is the perfect decision. There's no anti-air. Finally, we have the lair tech done for Monster, so he's going for the Hydra attack. But this is just so late. The third base, there is no way he can defend it. He will lose the third.
This is basically checkmate, Keldor. There's not much else he can do. He will never be able to control the map again. Even with Hydras, his creep spread is okay, but it's not good enough for him to do a Hydra push. The base of Lenok that he's made as his third has been spotted by a few Zerglings, though, and if he doesn't react to this, he will have to cancel. He is sending some Zerglings home now, so he will be able to save that, but the hatchery has been taken out.
We also have an infestation bit coming up. And I like that Lenok right now is not building too many Mutalisks. He has 11 Mutalisks, is now going for the upgrades, has to cancel this third, but he's not overcommitting to Mutalisks, and therefore the Infestors will be strong, but they still won't be able to take Lenok out.
He's going to go for the kill move here. I saw a bunch of Zerglings going back to defend the hatchery, but instead he made them all into Banelings now, Keldor, which will do not only well against Spines, but Hydralisks as well. Here he goes, the drones!
Oh! Wow, beautiful. Taking down so many Harvesters. 22 Harvester kills for Lenok. He kills the Queen, he kills another Spine Crawler, and he might just attack the Hydralisks. Now there are a couple of additional Hydralisks spawning, so he needs to back off for now.
56 to 38.
Yeah, he still has such a nice lead. 30 supply lead for Lenok, and he's now getting the third base once again. A small run by trying to take down the hatch that is being produced.
Looks like his Mutas are going to be back just barely in time this time to stop this. Does commit to saving it, and things are looking worse and worse for Monster by the minute. He's just got so many more Banelings morphing in that he's going to have to deal with. In total, he's going to have 14 Banelings to contend with basically 2 damaged Spine Crawlers and Hydralisks.
And the problem for the Hydralisks is as soon as the Banelings connect, the Hydralisks will be gone in seconds. They are just so weak against Banelings, and he has to be really, really careful about it. So let's see how Lenok is going to execute.
Yeah, he's just going to run in here, and the Hydras are well split, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The Banelings not only hitting Hydras, but drones and the hatchery.
Exactly, he can just take down the hatchery with this next attack. He's even killing a Spore Crawler now. So the anti-air, another Hydralisk hit, and that's the GG. Even before Lenok takes down Monster's expansion, the MVP player, he GG's out of the game, and this puts the game on the teams on even score again.
Yeah, tied up 2-2. Lenok giving the high fives. The Lenoctopus, man, he knew how to play that one. I really feel like more than Lenok winning that game, his opponent kind of lost it with that attack. It was a good idea, the attack. The timing was pretty decent, but the Baneling control was terrible. He allowed Lenok to get good Baneling hits on his Banelings, and also his Banelings are at the back. I think the idea there may have been to have the Roaches buffer for the first Banelings of Lenok, but everything went wrong. Everything went wrong.
Yeah, it was just kind of too late. Lenok prepared very, very well for it. We had how many Spine Crawlers? Like
9 in total,
9 to 10, something like this. And the Banelings in the back as well. So with only the Roaches, there was just nothing that Monster could do. And Lenok, he defended so well. And as soon as the Mutalisks popped out, they target down a couple of the Banelings already. So that was really, really well defended by Lenok. And at the same time, Monster just had this idea that he had to attack with the Roaches, and from that point on, when he started building so many Roaches, he had to do something with them. He just couldn't hold back, so he had to attack at some point, and Lenok was prepared, took the lead, and then sealed the deal.
It always happens if you hold off the Roach push, and you have Mutas, your opponent doesn't have Lair done, you win, man, especially if he doesn't have Spores up. His Queen got caught by Zerglings. Lenok decided to go for that first Baneling attack rather than saving his third with his Zerglings. Choice ended up working for him. Either way, though, if he defended his third, he could have just macroed up better than his opponent, controlled the map more. So we'll see what MVP has in store next. It looks like we are going to have a player whose it's Finale. Oh, it's Finale. Okay.
Another Protoss for MVP.
I thought he was going to knock over our little Team League flags there. I was getting a little bit stressed out, but
it looked like it for a second, didn't it?
I'm like, no, Coach Choi, Finale, you save it for last, man. You don't put the Finale halfway through. But he is a Protoss player, as you mentioned, a pretty strong one at that. He has not shown himself very often. He's never played in individual leagues. As far as I know, only playing in Team League. Yeah, he's a Code B player. He's only played one time and he lost. So, not the best record, but I've seen this guy around. I've heard of him quite a bit. Koreans talk about him often. And obviously, if Coach Choi is putting him out here, he has, at least in some way, improved. Coach Choi is not a stupid person. He's a very smart coach. He's got something planned here. The map is going to be Daybreak.
Daybreak, our next map in a Protoss versus Zerg, and let's see how Lenok is going to play against the Protoss player. Finale apparently pretty content now. Here's the map choice, so he has definitely something prepared for his match against Lenok. It's going to be the 5th game, a team match between MVP and FXOpen. Lenok against Finale. Black against white.
I'm really excited to see what Lenok is going to do here. Choosing a Protoss against Lenok, and not only a Protoss, but a Protoss who's not that well known and also has very little experience. A very bold move by Choi.
Yeah, I think so too. I was a little bit surprised to see Finale step up, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. I just didn't expect it, man. Our map is loading.
There's a reason why MVP chose Finale, and we are going to see if it's going to be enough against Lenok. The game is about to start. This is the GSTL with Caldo and Wolf.